What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Maliss going up against Ryzeal Fiendsmith. This can be a matchup you see quite a bit in YCSs, in regionals and stuff like that. All sorts of duels at local scene. You're probably going to see this if you're playing either one of these decks. This is going to be like the most popular decks of the format right now. Before we dive on in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. A lot more on the road to 10K. We are going to be seeing Ryzeal end up winning the die roll with a start off of track, being able to dump the Lurie, send out the Lurie here, and then we can go up into the Requiem, which goes up into Lacrima then dumps either the trap or Engraver, depending on which one we already have in the hand. If we want to continue up the combo and summon back the Lacrima during the next turn, then dump the trap, we can as well. With this setup, we do dump an Engraver, and then we do opt to go for the Princess by equipping the Requiem here. And then we activate the effect of the Engraver in the hand that I believe we searched off track because we already had Lurie in the hand. And then we're going to be searching for another tract, and this is going to give us a Princess draw because we did discard a card from the hand to activate a monster effect, which is being the Engraver here. We're now going to be able to activate the Engraver secondary effect, shuffling back, I believe, another Engraver or a Lurie in this case, to go up into a Caesar on the 5th summon, I believe. So we are protected from that Nibiru here. Or on the 6th summon. Regardless, if they had Nib, they would drop it before the Caesar is made. We are then going to be seeing a normal summon of a Ryzeal Sword, which can then activate its effects, allowing us to search for the X, which can be an extender here by setting a card, locking us into level 4s. And they're going to take a second to read. This one is the one that cannot search or summon if you do control anything other than a rank 4 or a level 4. So we're going to be seeing the X can activate the effects in the Evil Twins, or the Eclipse Twins, I should say. And then they do explain what this card does. This is going to be a new card out of the newest set, a little addition for the Ryzeal deck itself. We're then going to activate a Cross, which is going to be a negate, a very interesting negate, which negates on resolution rather than just like negates and chain. So it has like the potential to negate some stuff that it shouldn't really be able to negate in like your normal sense. It's a very powerful card. I like it quite a bit myself. It just has really cool interactions and stuff like that. So we're going to be seeing them activate that, and then we go up into a Duo Drive. Duo Drive will be able to attach. Now, there isn't a Ryzeal in the graveyard, so we cannot attach off this Duo Drive, but we can activate the effect, allowing us to search our deck for 2 by attaching 2 from anything we control. Now, fun fact, it doesn't actually have to be 2 from one XYZ monster, so it could be 1 and 1, leaving a negate onto the field, but we choose to go for 2 off that Ryzeal here, which definitely makes sense to me. You want to leave multiple off the Caesar. And then we search for an Ice as well as the Node. Now, we have not normal summoned with Ice yet. We have not normal summoned period yet, so we were able to have another rank 4 on the field, in this case with the Ice, which is pretty nice. And that was not even making a joke there. We're going to be substituting out the Node, and then we go up into the... we send the Duo Drive to the graveyard to summon out one of the other Ryzeal monsters, and then we go up into the Detonator. Detonator then attaches the Eclipse Twins, and this is going to allow us to be able to attach, and then we activate the effect of Cross, putting back 2 to then let us draw 1 additional card here. And we draw into the Fiendsmith Paradise, which is not a good draw. We want to have that card in the graveyard, actually. We set 2 now, and we just pass turn on this. So we're not going to overextend, maybe go for a Dweller. We don't exactly know what we're playing against. Now, this player has played before. I believe this is a top cut match as well, so they do know what their opponent is on. We could essentially see the Ice being normal summoned if we wanted to summon out another body, allowing us to go for... Because I don't think Ice is if they control none. Yeah. So you can maybe gone for like another XYZ if we wanted to, but we opt to just pass on this with 2 sets, which is going to be pretty nice. Now, if we have like Meteorologic or I guess anything else, like we have the Metaltronus, I should say, or a copy of Ultimate Slayer, this board could kind of be wiped, as well as a Book of Eclipse. All these cards are kind of popular lately, so we could see potentially those being flipped face up. And we're going to be seeing a Widow Anchor on the Caesar, actually. So negating the Caesar effect altogether. So playing the Sky Striker Maliss deck. Then we're going to be normal summoning a Rabbit, but after we set a card, potentially being one of those Maliss traps so we don't have to flip up an Imperm. And we are going to be seeing them attempt the Imperm on it, but we had the Maliss trap card being the 7, which does banish. And I don't think it does anything other than like add 1. I'm not exactly sure, but regardless, we see them be able to dodge. It does add the Dormos there. And they are going to be setting the column beside the trap. And we do set the Search or Summoner one from the thing. And then we pay 300 off of the Rabbit there. and they do chain to negate to pop. Not to negate, but just to pop there. So we pop the trap before the rabbit is summoned. So 2 traps are kind of out of rotation now. We set an additional card, and then we play the Malice Underground. They do chain to pop that, and we make sure that we can actually do that there. That goes kind of crazy. And do we have anything to kind of stop this? No, they're just going to admit defeat there. Realizing it's going to be too much. I mean, sometimes you just have enough in that case. I don't know the other cards in the hand, but yeah. Detonator is kind of crazy. I mean, I know that the player on the left hasn't played much Yu-Gi-Oh! In a while. They do love the Skyfair card. Shout out to you. Angus, you know who you are. He hasn't played the game in quite a bit. He's coming back from playing Pokemon. But yeah, I mean, if you've played like all the formats and like Dryden's currently banned, and then you're like, okay, this is just a pop, that's fine. And then you realize like this can pop multiple times and Dryden's not back. What? And like that's actually crazy. Like it took them a second to realize like this is not once per turn. And it's just like, what the hell? Like, Detonator is honestly an insane card right now. But honestly, a lot of the stuff, like the end board's pretty nice, but we have to play like these powerful board breakers like Eclipse and like Metatronus and stuff like that to be able to just stop altogether these combos. You know, being able to summon out like, you know, their Detonator, getting rid of the Detonator, or being able to go for like Ultimate Slayer, sending the Metatronus to just like bounce back that copy of Caesar, and then Aggravator will send like negate the Detonator, like stuff like that. Just absolutely powerhouses of formats. We're going to be seeing now Maliss going to be going first, and this is one of the best decks going first if you don't really hand trap them. It's also really hard to hand trap them properly. We're going to be seeing them normal summon out the trap guy, Rabbit, setting a trap, and then we normal summon the Dormouse. We then get to summon out the Dormouse because we do activate the field spell, which banishes. Then we go for the Chess Cat. Chess Cat's going to be activating its effect, banishing another copy of itself to summon, or to draw 2 cards here. And we have not summoned, I guess we have summoned off the Dormouse, banished the Chess Cat from the deck to allow this to happen. So we're going to now go up into the Haggard. Haggard is going to be banishing the Rabbit, summon out the Rabbit here. And now we've used all 3 of the banish guys, and we read the trap. And do we have Nibiru? We have a Nibiru here, which is going to get rid of all of them altogether after we read that trap card. We see a token being summoned, and this is going to be pretty difficult for us to kind of continue playing here. We have gone through all of the Malice monsters, but we have a thrust to essentially stop the turn by just setting a copy of D-Barrier here. Calling XYZ can be pretty impactful against the Ryzeal part of the deck. Obviously, the Fiendsmith, which can go into the Link and Fusion monsters, but those are kind of easy to deal with. Like one Imperm can kind of stop that board altogether. We actually search for an Engage here, which can allow us to play the now Sky Striker variant. And we're going to be linking away for a Link Spider here. And then we activate an Allure of Darkness, drawing 2 more cards, getting rid of another Dormouse? Or another Chess Cat. So we play 3 Chess Cat, interestingly enough. Then we activate an Engage, searching for a Widow Anchor. Or not Widow Anchor, but the Reborn guy. Or whatever, the summon of the token, whatever that one's called. The token summoning, which we then go for Kagari, which adds back Engage. We can then link away up into an SP. SP can banish, but unfortunately we've already gone through all of those Malice cards. We have to banish a Nibiru instead, and they activate an Engage once again, and this is going to be a time we have a 3rd spell, so we can search for the Widow Anchor and get an additional draw here. And we loaded our graveyard. We're going to search for Terraforming, or play Terraform. We'll search for another Malice Underground for the follow-up turn. Loading up our graveyard once again with the spell cards and making our top deck even going to be better. And we look at our graveyard, and we have quite a bit going for us, as well as SP and the trap on the field as well. So we set 3 more additional cards and just pass turn on this with follow-up in the hand with the Malice and Underground, as well as every Malice monster in the graveyard that we kind of need. So we are going to be seeing a track going to be activated now, which is going to let us search for the Lurie, sending Lurie, summoning out Lurie here. And will this stick is the question before they get to link summon away. We're going to link away into Requiem. And then we're going to be seeing Requiem effects going to activate. No Ash Blossom in response. So we're going to be summoning the Lacrima from the hand. Wasting a card from the hand is never going to be good in this matchup. You need as much as you can against the Malice deck. And then we're going to be seeing the Lacrima getting hit with the Widow Anchor, summoning itself to our side of the field and negating it. But then we proceed to normal summon an Ice. Ice will activate its effects. And they do chain the SP to it, removing it altogether off the field. We're now going to go for a sword. Sword will be able to activate the effect, letting us search. And this is when it's like, what the heck is going on? How can they just keep getting all these cards? We're going to search for a ice, which is also an extender. We're then going to see the X in the hand already, which can then send to continue playing here. And like we still have another sender in the ice, sending another card from the hand. And then potentially even the node as well. So we're going to be seeing the X going to activate, allowing us to summon another one from the deck. Or in this case, it's going to search. My bad. Ice is the one that summons. The rest of them search. I do mistake. We're going to see a Book of Eclipse going to be flipped face down, which means that we don't get the search. I'm not sure why we don't get the search there. But they're going to draw 2 cards and then pass on this. They're going to be seeing SP bring itself back out. And we then activate the Maliss and Underground, which lets us banish. And we are kind of off to the races here. We're going to be able to banish a Dormouse. And then it's going to be paying 300 to summon itself out. And they are going to let that go. We then activate the Imperm on the Dormouse. And they do chain the trap there. It's going to let us summon out the rabbit here. And we are fixing the game state, yeah. So they do Valor the rabbit, that's going to activate the effects, allowing them to set another trap from the deck. They flip up the Lacrima, and then they link them away. But now we're going to be having a Lacrima in the graveyard, which can summon itself back out. We're going to go for a White Binder here. And White Binder will be able to banish numerous cards. I feel like we have to target at least one of theirs. Trying to force out that Requiem, perhaps, or the Lacrima. The Lacrima can use itself and should be able to summon itself. And we can always put back the Luri. So if you're wondering, well, what if they can't dump? They have the Luri in the graveyard as well. They don't need to have the Engraver. So it kind of is important there. And we do activate the Lacrima. They chain the Ghost Ogre on the White Rabbit. And then we're going to chain SP on the Ghost Ogre to dodge. And then we chain, of course, the Lacrima, summon that Requiem that was trying to be targeted to banish. And then we are going to be seeing the Rabbit as well as the Dormouse, or not Dormouse, but the Chess Cat summon itself out. And then we're going to be seeing the Lacrima being summoned out off of that Requiem. Then we do draw a card off of the White Rabbit, and this is pretty hectic. We're going to be seeing the trap being dumped off the Lacrima. And take a second to read the Fiendsmith in Paradise there, just so when they continue to special summon out, they're not like kind of blindsided. We're going to be seeing them banish it now, dumping the Desiree, and then Desiree will be able to activate the effect, putting back the Luri to actually send that White Rabbit to the graveyard here. And so now we are locked again out of the extra bodies. We do go for the Chess Cat, banishing another Underground, being the 3rd copy of it here, to draw 2 additional cards. Then we go for a Magnamut now. We banish the Requiem to summon itself out. Maybe you should banish the Desiree. I don't actually know which one's the best copy here, but we're going to then activate the effect of Magnamut. We then have the whatever the banish card, summon with Dotscaper, and then we'll be linking all those up into the Heart Cryptor, I believe. Or no, this is the Red Ransom, I think. Yeah, we're going to go up to Red Ransom, which normally searches for the spell. We already have all 3 spells searched for, so it's not going to be doing the greatest for us. So we're going to go for the GW6, which can then banish the Red Ransom, summoning out another copy, and we're then going to be able to summon out the Red Ransom once again. And then it does gain, I think, 2,500 attack, if I'm not mistaken. I don't exactly know. We're then going to be linking away for the Link Decipher, and we are getting Hailing Rain, if you guys can hear that right now, or whatever, the hailing, yeah, freezing rain is what we're hearing. If you do hear that, I do want to apologize. I know it just sounds like pellets. Not the greatest sound on the microphone, but you guys may not be able to hear it. I don't exactly know. I just want to apologize if you guys do. We're going to see a battle phase dealing some, just beating over. Nothing really doing piercing. making just a Lacrima left on the field here. And they do look in their extra deck to see what else they can make. There's not really much, we kind of have burned through a lot of our resources. Now we do still have SP, and they know they have an Ice in the hand, which is going to be pretty much full combo. But we have quite a bit of follow-up for ourselves, with a Bestial in the hand, being able to summon a bunch of stuff as well. And having all the Link monster in rotation is going to be pretty nice, as well as an SP returning here too. So we're going to link all three into the Heart Cryptor finally. And then that's going to be able to turn the attack and defense. So making it pretty difficult for us to be over things. And then we're going to go for the Shuffle Back to banish. And that's going to be just a pass turn here. So we're looking at Graveyard to see what we have. And looking at our banish, we're going to be seeing SP return on the side there. And they have a Jerusalem, I believe, search for the hand. And just passing on this. So we then normal summon the Ice, which was a known card. Ice is going to be able to activate the effect, allowing us to summon it back from the deck. And this is going to kind of give them more bodies. We're going to be seeing an X, and then X will be able to search for another card here, searching for the Sword. And now we have Sword and Node, I believe, to kind of continue this. We then go for a Book of Eclipse, booking them face down, saying, continue to play. Now, obviously, we have the Sword, which can continue to play, because we do have a Ryzeal in the graveyard. But we can't flip any of these guys face up, so we are kind of locked out of that. Now, Sword's going to get activate the effect, and they do banish with SP. Let them search for one more, and they do search for the Node. Node is going to be, once again, another extender, being 2 bodies here. And it's holy, how many bodies can we get off these cards? We're then going to be seeing the Heart Cryptor going to activate the effect. Before we get the Node effect to activate, they're going to put back the Maliss and Underground to essentially send that, or banish it in this case, saying you are not summoning all these rank 4 monsters. You're going to be put on having one, and then we remove the one, and you have to have another one. And here they kind of ran out. So we are going to be seeing the Sword come back, as well as the SP. And they are going to be able to draw off those cards, but we do chain the Jerusalem before they end up drawing. We can go for the pay 9 for the White Rabbit, and then we are going to be, or White Binder I should say, and then we're going to get the draw, and of course White Binder is going to activate banishing all 3, which can then bring themselves back out, and they'll get the draw alongside the return of SP. I believe SP ends up going to the graveyard though, but we're going to see the white, the red set, and of course the red ransom search. So they're asking kind of what they have, and they have a huge field. We're going to be drawing 2 cards, but there's not much that we can do anymore unless they have a Nibiru. But it's going to be an end phase, so they can't nib. They do have nib, but they're just going to admit defeat there, realizing the game's going to be over. Yeah, they're going to go battle phase and attack. If it was in the main phase, it would resolve differently, but of course you can just wait to end phase Bestial before the SP if you have any triggers effects that activate at the start. We maybe should have a little bit better end phase rulings, to be honest. Having the ability to activate, makes sense you have the ability to activate some of the quick effects, but if you look at Eclipse, till the end phase, so maybe the first action in the end phase should be till those effects start triggering, but it's not, unfortunately, the way that Konami ends up ruling it there, so we are going to be seeing that going to be activated. But if you do read the cards, it makes sense to me why you'd think that the first card would be forced to activate would be the Eclipse. Regardless, here we are going to be seeing Maliss end up taking game number 2. Now moving on to game number 3, Ryzeal will have the advantage of going first. So potentially having some of those good cards. We have obviously Lancia's being sided in the last game. Everyone and their mom is playing Lancia right now. I think it's 96% or something of people were playing Lancia at the last YCS. And for those 6 or whatever 4% that was not, what were you doing? Why were you not playing Lancia? So we're going to be seeing the first card activated this game is going to be an Engraver searching for the track. Track's going to activate the effect, sending the Lurie, and we do activate the Full Roast on that Lurie summon. They do chain an Ash Blossom this, saying, I value my extra deck. I'm going to be going into it lots, so good luck drawing. We're then going to go for the Lacrima here, and then Lacrima will be the dump. Now, what's really cool is that you actually have the ability to play through this if you just end on the Requiem. Obviously, they give it 1 draw. But you can just pass turn, and then you can just do all the summoning from during your opponent's turn with this. But we're going to end up going for something different here. We had the Ash to stop the Full Roast, so we can just kind of continue off into this. Now, do they have multiple other cards is the question to kind of stop this. Now, we could go into the Link monster here, and they are going to be forced to have either an Imperm or an Nibiru to kind of stop this. But they're going to activate the effect, allowing them to return, and we definitely should leave something in the graveyard. Not the Lacrima. I mean, we can go for Lacrima as well if we want to go for the Requiem, but we're going to go for the Agumde here. And the Agumde line normally is just left, so we can just kind of continue. Now we are going to go for Agumde summon out Lacrima. Then we can go for an X. X can then search for a sword. And then we're going to overlay up into the Duo Drive. We're going to be seeing the Duo Drive. Going to be searching for 2. And what's really cool about this is that Lacrima can actually bring back out the Agumde, which makes it the Desiree actually has the ability to be made during our opponent's turn now, which is pretty cool. We're going to be seeing the Field Spell activate, and then we're going to be able to bring out the sword. Sword for an ice now. And we have essentially the full combo through the Nibiru. Super cool. If you guys have not seen it before, it's a very fun strategy to kind of make. You never really know what to end up hitting, but this can all fall short to one Bestial, which is important to note. That, you know, one Bestial either at the end of the turn or now would just cut this whole turn off altogether. We're going to be seeing the Eclipse Twin being made by overlaying the sword as well as the Duo Drive, and then we're going to be just passing turn on this, which is met with an Eclipse. That's rough. We have a triple Duo Drive. Do we have another Ash in the hand is a question. We're going to let that resolve, flipping it face down, and then we then activate a Lacrima. Lacrima is going to try to return itself to summon out the Agumde, and then we're going to be seeing Agumde activate the effect, summon out the Desiree here, and we then go for a Gold Shark, which can then banish. Now, we're going to see them banish to Dormouse. Dormouse will then summon itself out, paying the 300, and they're going to let that resolve, banishing the White Rabbit. White Rabbit is going to then summon itself, or the Rabbit is going to then summon itself out. I keep getting them confused. I know it's a rabbit, and I want to say White Rabbit, but it's not White Rabbit. It's a White Binder. You know, it's a rabbit, and it's just the rabbit, Red Rabbit, I think it is. I don't even know. But the Rabbit's going to activate the effect, setting the trap from the deck, and then we are going to be thinking, we're going to be then normal summoning out our Chess Cat, and now we have all 3 on the field. And they are going to activate the Chess Cat, and we chain the Ash Blossom here. We had Ash all along. Why have we not Ash the Book of Eclipse? You know, it's so much better. We're then going to link all 3 away for the White Binder finally, and they're going to activate the effect, trying to banish the Chess Cat because it has not activated its effects yet. The sequence as well, and Lacrima should be back in the deck, and the track here. And then we're going to be seeing the Chess Cat summon itself out. And then we're going to be activating the effect of the Desiree, trying to chain to negate these. But we are going to then chain the trap to GW6 to banish. And we are going to see time getting declared here. And so we're going to be gaining 23 off the White Binder because we do control a Link monster off that trap card. And all we have to do now is just pass turn. And we actually end up getting the win because we are up by 14, unfortunately. So we are going to be seeing Maliss end up taking the win. And yeah, they realized they should have ashed the Book of Eclipse, but they were going a little bit too quickly there, not thinking, flipping them face down. Book of Eclipse would have been huge to be ashed. We would have had so much more on the field. You know, that Detonator being able to stop those like 3 cards, even eventually popping the Eclipse, being able to bring back out the Eclipse, whatever you kind of want to go for, and having the Cross Negate as well would have been absolutely huge. But unfortunately, with the misplays of Ryzeal, even though it is a pretty brain-dead deck to play, if you don't play it correctly, you unfortunately just lose matchups you just should not lose here. And they had the cards in the hand that would have made them not lose. So we're going to be seeing Ryzeal end up getting smoked by Maliss by playing incorrectly here in that game 3, and time being called with Maliss taking the win. Regardless, hope you're watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.